What's up, boys? Another Arlington Open here. Um, the I'm playing a guy named Robert, who's roughly 1500. I I'm about 1800 at this point. Um, but yeah, this is actually round two of the tournament of the Arlington Open. So for round one, I don't know what happened, but the night before, I was just up until 4 in the morning. I was just in the bathroom the whole time. I think I got food poisoning or something. I was just not having a good night, and so yeah, I was up until 4. I tried to get some sleep eventually, but my alarm just didn't wake me up at that point. So I overslept a little bit, missed round one. Funny enough, round one I was supposed to be playing against Arjun. If you remember, in the first tournament, the only person I lost to was Arjun. In the second tournament, the only person I lost to was Arjun, so he got me on the three-peat. He's 3-0 against me because I just didn't show up. We were supposed to be on board 3, which meant I was the number 3 ranked person coming into this tournament. Um, I had a decent tournament last time. I know I didn't make videos, but it was a decent tournament. I won one, lost one to Arjun, and then tied, and then had to forfeit my round 4. Doesn't really count as a loss. It just counts as nothing. I had to go to work. It wasn't a great day. I played pretty terribly, but yeah, I didn't I don't know. I didn't want to make videos of it. I felt like they were just boring games that didn't really end well, and the one I won I didn't really deserve to win. Um, but yeah, this is round two. Um, this is the only round I played. I left early just because I really wasn't feeling good, and this game shows it a little bit. Um, but so I get to the tournament. I sign in. They're about to DQ me, but I make it just in time. Um, so I make it for round two, and they have the pairings, and I'm supposed to play. I don't even remember his name. I was supposed to play someone else. Um, so I get down, sit at the board. Everyone else is sitting at the board waiting for them to just start the round, and then they come and say there's new pairings, and so I have to play this guy named Robert. And so I move boards. Robert sits down, and then he sets his phone down. Um, he sets his phone down, and on his phone is a virtual board of chess that he will be playing all of the moves on for the entire game. And I asked the tournament organizer if that is legal because there's no way in hell that should be legal. I do not understand how that is allowed. But the tournament organizer just waved at me and said, "Yeah, it's fine." And so going into this game, I was just pissed off because of that. I didn't understand. I just did not understand how that was okay. Um, so yeah, going into the game, I was already fairly tilted, I guess. One, because I didn't have a good night. Two, because of whatever the hell that was. But we have the white pieces, so of course we're gonna play d4. And if he lets me, we're gonna go into a Catalan, of course, because that's all I play. He plays d4. We get the Queen's Gambit. This is all theory. Um, I go here instead of g3 right now. Just to knight is more of a flexible move. I don't really know a situation where I get this kind of position and I'm not going to play g3 eventually. Um, it's just this is more flexible, so I choose this one. Um, we do g3 now. This is this is mainline theory. This is not mainline theory. This is not a terrible move. I know. The engine is gonna say it's about a 1 point advantage for white, but it's not a terrible move. It's just one of those openings where if you give it time to think, the engine will come around to it eventually. Um, I just castle, and then put my knight here. This is all still mainline theory, and if you get to this mainline theory point, the engine will start agreeing a little bit more with black. So every top engine move has been played at this point, and it's about plus point 0.3. So basically nothing. Uh, he puts the bishop there, which is the whole point of this b6 move. I just develop some more, and this looks a bit awkward. Because takes. The whole point is you want to get it on here. You think he might put the knight back here just to attack it a little bit more, but you're not really worried about that. You just want some quick development in the center. You're not really worried about anything like this because it's a bit overreaching. You don't really want to play something like this. I know it looks like nice and strong to play something like that, but you're kind of just trapping your bishop. So that's not really in the plans ever. Something like this, you're not too worried about. You could always just drop right back, or you could even go here if he wants to play something like this, attacking your bishop. And once again, if he does play this and you just move back, he really has nowhere to go other than just straight back. So it's kind of just a waste of time. He plays b6. I didn't really have many plans to go here. There were vague possibilities of doing something like this, taking, takes, and then either knight take or bishop take. Wasn't really in the plans right now, but it was like a vague idea. So I thought that this was pretty slow. So I played queen c2. The engine says it's a pretty good move. It's not the best move, but it's a good move. The whole idea behind me playing this is not really attacking this, but controlling this square. He has a lot of control over it right now, and so do I. My whole idea is I want to play e4 at some point, right? So e4 takes. Right now, there's really no point because it's just trading material for no reason. But eventually, I want to be able to get something like this, and then have like if I could get the bishop here, if I could push this, have this traded, and then just have this bishop stay here with my queen here, then we're looking at some actual attacking possibilities here. But yeah, he plays h6. And again, I just felt like this was really slow. I felt like I needed to attack, and I was just trying to figure out the best way to do that. The engine gives this position +1, +1 and some change, but it's pretty negligible change. So I felt like I was doing good, and my two thoughts were just trying to get these rooks involved. I didn't really want to take here. That's one of the top engine suggestions. I just felt like this was, I don't know. I wanted more support before I tried doing anything like that. And so I played rook e2 again. Last turn I played queen c2, just trying to control this square. This is just more control over this square. So yeah, engine hates that move a lot. It's not a blunder or anything. It ruins. There's better moves. Engine really wants a rook on this square instead. So it wanted rook a1 or rook fd1. It says they're both about equal. I didn't want to play rook fd1, or I didn't want to play rook ad1 just because I felt like it was trapping my rook. And I felt like if I played rook here, it was allowing this rook to be more flexible on where it went. So I just felt like rook e1 was a little bit more intuitive with the way my position was about to play out. Engine disagrees, and he strikes in the middle with c5. I've learned through playing and a little bit, not a whole lot through my courses, but analyzing games that I've played. Literally any time that you see a cluster like this, you just take c takes d. It is basically always going to be the best move. So we take, and he thinks for a while, stares at his phone, and then plays d takes, or c takes d. This isn't a great move here, but it felt real annoying to deal with when I saw this. It's obviously attacking my knight, and I have a couple options here. So I looked at a few things. I looked at knight takes, bishop or pawn push, and then pawn take. So I looked at knight takes first, and I figured if he went here, then I would have pawn takes attacking that, opening up this attack, and opening up this as well. I looked at if queen takes, then I have the same thing. This is actually a little bit more winning because he takes here. Um, if he wants to defend this, he either has to go here or here. If he went to this square, um, then I would have knight here. The bishop's already protected. It's not double protecting it, but it's hitting the knight, hitting the queen, hitting the bishop, and I felt like it was really winning. I looked at this thinking maybe there's some kind of discoveries with my bishop and this hitting his queen, but I figured I was just overthinking things. Um, the second thing I thought about was, or the last thing I thought about was pawn takes pawn. So pawn takes, his only move is bishop takes, and then pawn takes pawn. Here I just thought, I really just hallucinated. I thought king takes was just good, and then takes, and I thought that I might be able to get some kind of attack, but he can't even take back with the king right here because it's protected. And so his only option after takes, which is check, he has two moves: king here or rook takes. If he plays king there, it's just mate in a couple moves because of this. If he plays rook takes after pawn takes, um, you take hitting the queen. He takes, you take, he takes. Um, at the Engine says it's good. Engine says you're up like a point of material, but yeah. Um, I I was thinking for a while. I spent a good like 5-6 minutes thinking about this, um, and I kind of just got sick of thinking, and I just played knight takes. Um, Knight takes is not good. Or it's not terrible, but it's completely even in the position. Um, he went knight takes, and here I went pawn takes or pawn push. He plays the literal only move, which is bishop takes, um, pawn takes, and then another literal only move, queen takes. If he doesn't play, um, so if he doesn't play that whole five move sequence right here, let me go back. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That 4 move sequence. If he doesn't play that whole 4 move sequence, any of those moves, each time it's like +7. So yeah, credit to him. He found every single winning, or not winning move, but every single move that holds his position. Um, and after that happened, I just got tilted. I don't know. I just kept thinking about how he has a stupid phone out, and that's all I could think about. Um, and how this is a fairly complicated position, and this 1500 has made 0 blunders after like 20 moves. Um, this just doesn't make sense to me. And so he plays this completely even position. Computer gives it like zero point 0.2, but it is basically completely even. Here I thought about move my queen here, 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 and here. Um, I didn't want to move it here just because I felt like there's no reason to damage my structure. Um, but yeah, so my first instinct when I saw this was to move it here. That is what the engine says is the best move. It controls this so that he can't just play here, and it controls this in case he ever wants to come here. It's just a free pawn. Then I looked at this second, which I thought was a stronger move. Engine says it's a good move. It agrees with both of these moves. It says they're both really good. I personally like this one over the board a little bit more, just because if he just does nothing, then I get this, and I just win the game. Um, and then I started looking at this. I didn't end up liking it because it kind of just does nothing. You get access to this, but you're never going to. You could go to here. You could go this square, kind of. But I just felt like it wasn't really attacking anything and doing anything. And then I looked at this move, and with this move, what I thought was interesting is it attacks this. It controls this square a little bit more, and maybe not really gonna sack ever, but maybe potentially. Um, and then I thought it's not a very good move. Um, and so I again briefly looked at, or not again, I briefly looked at Queen A3. Decided I didn't want to go to offer a queen trade, and so my P brain said, "Hey, what you're just thinking about Queen E3, you should move your queen there." And so I did after deciding it was the second worst option. So I went there, and he played the best move, which is to attack my bishop. It looks like my bishop is just trapped after this because it can't take because it's doubly defended and it's just singly defended. You can't go here because pawn takes. You can't take this. You could take this, but it looks like it's trapping my bishop. But if he ever takes, I just take it's pinned. Um, so I just play this, just trying to get out of the way. The engine wants me to play queen up so that I can get out of it like this, or play here. I didn't really want to play something like this because I felt like it was just disconnecting my rooks, and that was a really bad idea. Um, this I thought might be fine. If he played this, I had this, but I really wanted to keep my bishop on this side of the board with my king, just because I felt like he had a lot of quick initiative on this side of the board, and I kind of wanted pieces to defend my king still. Um, he plays this, takes, and rook takes, and bishop. Um, the position is completely equal still, and he plays h5. Um, Very easy threat to see. Gee, I wonder what his next move is. Maybe trying to do that. Um, if he does get this move, he's actually trapping my bishop. It actually has nowhere to go now. The computer wants me to say who cares. Just ignore this and play rook ac1. Um, it wants something like this, and then if it plays this, it has queen e4. I did not see queen e4 at all. The point being is if he takes, then I take the rook, which is free, and if he moves the rook or defends the rook, then I have two attackers on that pawn, and I just get a free pawn. Um, yeah, I completely did not see that at all. Um, but I chose to just block this pawn, and he goes here. I felt like he was really weakening his king. I felt like if I could clear some of these pawns out and move some of my rooks over, I felt like I'd have a pretty decent attacking chance here. Um, so I moved my king over. The point being that I didn't really want to take and let this pin happen again with this. It just felt like a little bit too much. And I didn't want to play some random move and then have him take and trap my bishop. So I go here. The point being is if he takes, I have this, and it's hitting the queen, which happens. He's lining up a discover check on me, so I want to get out of that, and I move here. That is the best move. Completely even still. I was looking at things like this, and he pushes his pawn. I was really trying to really just consolidate. I gave him a check first just to keep him stranded on this. He has really no moves here, or he has a couple moves for his king, but I felt like restricting some of his king's movement was a really good idea here. And then I play pawn forward. My idea here is that in a perfect world, if he does nothing and I can get my queen here and my pawn here, I'm doing fantastic. Like I'm borderline winning in this position. Just because I felt like there's just so much that I could do. This rook's not really doing a whole lot. This knight's not doing a lot. He has this, but I just felt like his king was stranded and my pieces were coming to the party. It felt good. Also, he can't take en passant because he's pinned. He can take en passant, but he doesn't want to. He can't take with his rook because I take, and it's no longer discovered check because I got out of the way the move before. Um, so he moves his knight here, and this is fairly annoying. Um, he really wants this move. Obviously, it's a royal fork right here, protected by this. Um, and I couldn't really think of any realistic way to stop this threat. So I just had to take. I couldn't think of any other way, and I believe the engine says that's right. That is the best move, is to just take there. Still completely even. So now, once again, I don't know what happens, but I just stopped thinking. Um, my initial thought to this position was to go queen here. Um, so it skewers the rooks so that if he takes, I just take this with check and game over. Um, Not only that, but it's stopping him from taking this altogether, which I will eventually consolidate, and then I'll be fine. I'm also attacking this pawn right here. Um, but for some reason, I just play this. For no reason at all. Um, I don't know why I thought that this would eventually be mate, or this. So my thought process was here, and then I'd go here, and thought process was if he takes, then it's just mate in one. This is hope chess, 100%. I was just tilted the entire game, um, but after he takes that, I offer this. He forces a queen trade. That's check. Then he plays that check, and then he forces rooks off the board, and he just has a pass pawn. And the engine says this is still winnable. I attack these, but his king is just in time to get his rook protected. He defends everything. Starts running his pawn. This is still drawable right here. Right here, instead of taking, I had to play e3, I think. Just cutting off his king from infiltrating anywhere. He has this, but I could just go here with check. And then I could pick this up for free. I could also reroute my rook over, or over here. But yeah, I just had to play there. His king ends up cutting me off. He goes to collect my pawn. Pushes his pawn. And then yeah, in this position, there's just nothing I can do in this position. The engine right now on this depth will say +1, but if you play like 5-6 more moves of the perfect engine moves, it'll pretty quickly be plus or -5, -6, and then it'll be force mate beyond that. So yeah, I had a shitty night before. Didn't really feel well. Then the whole virtual board thing really pissed me off and just tilted me. And I mean, credit to him. I don't. After looking at the game, I don't think he was cheating at all. Obviously, there are a couple of moves he played that really just weren't good. But after that first like 20 moves, it felt shitty, and I just didn't know what to do. So yeah, bad excuses, sure, but I don't know. What are you gonna do? After that, I just didn't really want to play anymore, and I wasn't feeling good anyway, so I just said I'd go home. So I went home. I didn't play anymore. And yeah, so I think in like 2 more weeks there should be another Open. Then we'll try again. Probably gonna get round 1 against Arjun for the 4th time in a row. So hopefully we can do something against him this time. But yeah, that was my tournament.